Welcome to Joe's Astrology. Today is Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, always check down in the description. I have links to other videos that apply to this video. Like today, we have a Leo moon. Got that link down in the description. I'm not going to talk that much about Leo moon. Lots of stuff down there. Venus in Aries, North Node. Today we have a Venus North Node conjunction. Jupiter Uranus. Jupiter is moving closer to Uranus to make a conjunction. The Mars Saturn conjunction. Lots of good stuff I've already talked about. But I want to talk about in this video just astrology in general and how, to me, and this is kind of goes along with the Aquarian Age, that so many people, they are kind of into astrology or they deny astrology, and you watch them. It's just fascinating to me. You watch them go through their transits, and even myself, I watch myself go through the transits, and even though I know about things, I want to compare the difference between me, someone who's understands astrology fairly well, and someone who's ignorant of astrology. And when I'm going through I'm going through some transits that I've been through some particularly bad transits, and that is very hard to keep an objective mindset. But even though, despite going through those really bad transits, I was able to kind of like step back and do this Aquarian Uranus thing and just be aloof and objectively look at things despite how bad it is. And let's compare that to the person who is the Leo, the opposition. We can look at the opposition, the Leo portion of this, where someone's going through a transit and it's like they're so focused on themselves, they're so subjective, they can't step back and see that this is a phase, or, like, as I say, a transit. They can't look, well, you think Leo, like they'd be able to look lightly at the situation, but they can't, because they're so involved in what's going on in the present moment in themselves. And that's not necessary. I'm not saying that this is necessarily a bad thing. I'm just making an observation that in the Aquarian Age, that as we move into the Aquarian Age, and people understand, more people understand astrology, or at least the possibility of that being the case. When they go through their transits, they could have the same experience as me. And for me, I think it helps to not have such of an emotional, fiery response to those transits, because you understand it. At some point, you come to the realization that this is happening, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're doing the best that you can, etc. And usually it will pass. So I wanted to compare those two, and I think as we move into the Aquarian Age, this is a very, very much a possibility as more people can understand astrology, and if they do come to an understanding of astrology, there won't be those visceral, emotional, subjective reactions to, especially to and I'm not so much like the big things I'm talking about, but like the little petty things, like just everyday things that people, I've had friends. I remember I had this guy who lost his job. He was a school teacher, and he was in a really good school district, so it was like a big deal for him to lose his job. And really, honestly, he didn't belong there to begin with. And I think, so, like, again, more that Aquarius, he couldn't do this. Even to this day, he probably couldn't do this. But I'm looking at it from the objective standpoint. He really didn't belong there. And he lost his job and had to go to therapy. And meanwhile, this guy had like over $100K in the bank, and he's still freaking out. He had plenty of family support. He was married. And he did end up getting a job not much later I consider it a better job that fits him in teaching in a cyber community or like a cyber school. And it all worked out for him. But when he was going through it, like I said, he had to go to therapy. He was freaking out. This guy has no understanding of astrology. Very much in that Leo space, or that space of self, thinking about themselves, not seeing the bigger picture. People lose their jobs all the time. And this is like just a basic transit that people go through, that if they can see that, they can save themselves a whole bunch of emotional trauma, save themselves from a bunch of emotional trauma. And then other people as well that are around them, they can save them from having to, not that this is not that they should do this, but to listen to all this and this silliness, especially when they try to give them advice that, hey, this is normal. Losing your job is normal, especially for like young people. People can prepare for this. And astrology can help them understand cycles, that this is a real thing and it's not going to go away. So that's just one example of, basic transit. Breakups is another one. And I'm talking about long-term breakups, like long-term relationships. When you're in a long-term relationship, and this can be hard too. Even knowing the astrology, this can be hard, but it does help. So again, check down in the description. I have also, I didn't mention, I'm just going to list all of them. There's a couple Pisces one. I'm going to list all of them for the whole month, because I've been doing this for the whole month with all the Pisces and the Aries. And I'm going to do Sun and Taurus coming up here. We have in 3 days. Lots more to come. And I hope you subscribe to the channel for more great astrology. And have a great day.